What's up, everybody? Welcome to the round 20 player ratings video. This is easy. This is what life's all about. Creating content after Carlton win games of football. There is nothing better in the world. You get carried away. You drink the Kool-Aid. The mayonnaise comes out, and it's great. It's so cool to play on Friday night, win on Friday night, and then have the whole weekend to not stress. It's a really new feeling for me and something I hope we get to feel a little bit more of in the future. But listen, if you are new to the channel and you've never seen a player ratings video, welcome. I like to start the conversation. These are not official. These aren't even right or wrong. These are just a conversation starter. I'll rate players between 1 and 10, 5 being the pass mark and above, and obviously 4 and below is a fail, in which I really do them relative to the context to who they are in the team, their standing, their experience, what I expect of them, leadership qualities and whatnot, and their personal situation on the day. And then basically any changes that you think I need to make higher or lower to the ratings, you just put them in the comments. I've got a spreadsheet. I'll make changes. At the end of the year, we will crown a champion. Let's be honest, it's going to be Sam Walsh, but it is what it is. You'll see a few new things. First of all, the Sam Walsh print is now available from Dom Gauchi DG Designs. As soon as it became available, I could not have purchased anything quicker. The studio is now starting to have it's got a little bit more oomph to it. I think we needed one more piece. If you are an artist, you can see there's some room here. If you've got something you want to put up here, I'm happy to display it. Just get in touch. Also, the player ratings video is for the rest of the year. As you know, we are sponsored by Doinabit. Last week we gave out the package to Cam Dempster. Today we're giving away another package, a Doinabit package. Basically, Doinabit. If you didn't watch last week, Doinabit is an activewear brand, but the notion of doing a bit is just that, doing a bit. Whether it's your work, whether it's your study, whatever it is you're working towards, you are doing a bit. If you would like to win this package, all you got to do is write a comment below with the hashtag doing a bit. That's how I'll know that you are actually interested in the prize. And give me something creative. Be creative with it, and I'll pick one of the comments that resonates with me the most, and I'll send you the package. So anyway, let's begin, because we've got players to talk about. I will talk about the team as it was named, starting with the back line: Sard, Wiedering, Jones. Sard, I'm not going to lie, I took notes during the game, and I did not notice him much at all. Was he well held? Was it a lockdown role? I don't know. Honestly, my two notes are, haven't noticed him much, 6 at the half. So it's crazy how well we played, and I didn't feel we got, production from Adam Sard relative to what he's been giving us all year. So, I wrote him down as a 4, but please, I must have missed something. If I have, you're going to have to correct me in the comments. Wiedering, Jesus. Well, it wasn't a good start. That's something we all know. So the very first possession, he rushes it, bombs it on the boot, this torpedo rush kick, and for me it was ominous. That's not Jacob Wiedering. He's usually calm and composed. That ball ends up coming back into our defensive 50, and we get a goal scored on us. I thought he was blocked out for King's second goal in the run, and I thought Jones needed to cover for him, but anyway, King kicks that one. Then he gives away the free kick to Max King, 15, 20 metres out directly in front. And then at that point I'm thinking, oh no, he just had, last week's happened. He went on the radio this week and talked about how he lost his composure, and I think he lost it a little bit again. But he was able to respond well. There was an intercept mark to O'Brien, which started the goal chain, if you remember, in that second quarter, where he kicked the inboard kick to O'Brien, to Dow, forward, and we kicked the goal. Ended up being Silvani with the goal. And I thought he fought back. He was outmarked by Higgins at one point in the fourth quarter, but I really did think he wrestled it back. I gave him a 6 for his game. I think he was coming from a fair way back, but he showed something, really strong. And so I thought he definitely passed on the day. Jones, intercept mark with his first touch, and then he kicks the ball into the corridor, turnover. You're just thinking, he just does such great things and then undoes them. But I thought he competed very well. I really did. I thought he competed very well on the day. He defended relatively well. There were certain times where he was out of position, but I thought more times than not, he did the right thing and led from the front. So for that reason, I gave him a 7 for his game. Next up is Newman, Plowman, Willow. Newman, he was spoiling everything early from what I noticed. He gave away that free kick on the siren, which was disappointing. It was a poor kick after the switch in the second quarter with 18:30 to go. We switched the ball, and that's something I really want to see us do more of, but unfortunately, we just don't execute on the kicks at times, and I think it affects their ability to keep going for the switch. He gave up the mark to Kent in the second quarter with 16-20, but then he really started getting his hands dirty. He pinned Max King in the fourth quarter with 19 to go, but I thought his pressure and his ability to just be in the contest was there, so I thought he passed on the day. I gave him a 6 for his game. Plowman, so I watched the game again, and it wasn't until then that I noticed what he did on the day. Now, didn't notice him much live. I actually haven't noticed him at all. And then I realised he was playing on Tim Membry. And Tim Membry was a non-factor up until three-quarter time. And I'm serious. Plowman absolutely bathed him. Now, Membry's gone on to kick 3 in the fourth quarter. I think they were just junk time, seagull goals. And it's disappointing that he did kick the 3. But the game was dead. I really do believe the game was dead. I thought Plowman smashed him when the game was there to be won. And I actually had him at an 8 or a 9. And then I think Membry kicking 3 brings it down just a tad. So I've put 7. I think that's right. It's just my gut feeling. So you can add your input there. Willow, good tackle on Crouch in the first quarter with 6 to go. I thought that was a good indicator of where his head was at. He was sticking his tackles. Good goal on the siren at the end of the second quarter. He gut ran to get there and he kicked it. And then he had a strong tackle and he earned the free in the fourth quarter, 18 minutes to go for a long goal and kicked 2 on the day. I said this a few weeks ago. I think there is something to be worked with Willow, whereby he's in more of an attacking position than a defensive position. I think he's had a really good introduction to the league as a defender, and you're working on his defensive mechanisms, mentally. I think there's something there because he is an aggressive player by nature and an offensive player by nature. It looks natural to him. So is it a wing role? I don't know. I know it's been talked about for a few years. I think he needed to build up some confidence, but it was good to see him hit the scoreboard. It was good to see him gut run and work both ways. That was the most important thing because he ran one way, but he also ran the other way. So I gave him an 8 for his game. I think he's come along nicely since he was first inserted back into the team. So happy with Willow. Sam Walsh. Oh, what do you say? Great finish for his goal in the first, 14-10 to go. He was fighting the Seb Ross tag. Second goal in the second quarter with 14-10 to go again, I think. Inside 50 to Dow for the goal in the second with 16-40 or the third. His third goal came in the third quarter with 12-25. He was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. He was absolutely doing a bit. Sam Walsh, this kid, he is in contention for the Brownlow. And if you guys haven't gotten around Blackarat and the Brownlow bet he put on before the season, he put Sam Walsh for the Brownlow and Harry Mackay for the Coleman. Still cheeky 25 on for a cheeky $77,000 return. You're now aware of it, and we're going to kick this thing home for Blackarat for the rest of the year. So he's coming along nicely, Walshy. I gave him a 10. I gave him the player of the game. Thought he was sensational. Cripper. Fucking Cripper. I was sure he was going to respond this week. I was sure. I really implored it from him. You would have seen the preview. Is it too much for me to ask for the captain? And for me, this was the moment. So, first touch, his first contest, right? If you remember, please go back and watch it. Now, he was sort of on the bottom of a pack. There was a little scramble. And in, games past, very easily, and I wouldn't have even noticed much of it, but very easily he could have just conceded a ball up because he wouldn't have been pinned. The ball was trapped in there. He tried to make an effort to dispose of it, but he didn't. He kept forcing his way out of the contest to create the spillage and get the handball forward to, I think it was Kennedy, who kicked it forward to Dow, who kicked it forward to Harry. I think that's how it went. But it just showed me the mentality. That is Patrick Cripps. That is Patrick Cripps. willing himself to continue on. And I know it's hard. It's a tough league. It's easy for me to sit here and, ask them, be tough and what. I get it. But Cripps is the one that I rely on as the captain to lead that charge. And it starts from him. I know Walsh and Wiedering and Mackay have really emerged, but Cripps, especially when Docky's out, Cripps is the captain, and the captain sets the standards and leads by example. I love that he doesn't have the 35 possession games anymore. I don't think we need that from him anymore, because Walsh is now, that real accumulator. But he's had 26 touches, 18 handballs. I thought he made the right decisions. He waited a little bit to give handballs out to people in space. There was one to Ed Curnow. 1 minute to go in the 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. He sort of just waited just a second. In games gone past, he's probably looking to bulldoze through players and kick it, but on this particular occasion, he handballed, waited just like a split second, handballed over to Ed, who was running on his outside, and away we went. And full credit to the captain, full credit, full marks, gave him a 10, kicked a goal, 6 tackles, started really well, the intent was there, and I just cannot give him enough love for this, because he needed to step up. He needed to lead from the front. I was petrified that we had really just put the cue in the rack for the season and we would just go through the motions, but can't speak highly enough of Cripps. And when he's there to be criticised, we will. And when he's there to take the credit, I will absolutely always be fair on both sides. So love him and proud of him. And I hope, this is the thing, it's got to be done for the rest of the year. I don't need 35, 40 touches from him, but I need him to lead the way with his intensity. The way he attacks contests needs to be at a level that we know of him. So anyway, gave him a 10. Noonsy. I noticed him a lot of the time on the fat side, running really hard. He runs defensively really hard, and it doesn't come up on the stat sheet, and he's a bit of an unassuming footballer, and I've needed to watch him differently. I know I need to evolve with the way I watch him and the way I grade him, because he's doing things that are obviously important to the team. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been selected in this game he picked. He had 19 touches. He had that bad turnover to Zach Jones in the second quarter with 10 to go, and it's like, Noonsy, know your limitations, mate. No Hollywood crossbody, corridor kicks. But I get it. You want him to be aggressive, and if it comes off, it comes off. But look, I think his defensive running is important. I thought, did he get his job done on the day? Absolutely. And then some. I gave him a 7 for his game. Ed Curnow, Charlie Curnow, and Zach Fisher. Ed, he started hot. He, along with Cripps and Kennedy, I thought really set the tone for the intensity at the contest. He had 6 touches within a couple of minutes. He was everywhere. I really thought he set the tone. There was just a fresh energy about him early. Was it the Charlie thing? I don't know. I do think Charlie, and we'll get to Charlie boy. Don't worry about that. But I do think he elevated the energy for everyone else. Ed Curnow, I gave him a 7 for his game. I thought he was solid. He had the 17 touches. The 8 tackles was the important one. On a week where I was really looking for tackles, that was important for me. We only had 2 players that didn't lay tackles. I didn't mention this about Saad, but he didn't lay a tackle. And Wiedering didn't lay a tackle. So anyway, Charlie Curnow. Oh my God. I'm saying Charlie Curnow's name in a play ratings video. Can you believe it? Charlie Curnow has never played with Sam Walsh. Has he? No. I don't think he's played with Sam Walsh. I could be wrong on that. If he has, it's not more than 2 or 3 games or 4 games. I don't know. I feel like they haven't played many games together. Anyway. He was back. My heart was in my mouth. He looked like he was bouncing off the walls, to get out there. It was giving me goosebumps. It was just crazy to see him out there. And it's crazy, life, it moves. It moves. So much happens in such a seemingly short amount of time. But this is 2 years. We haven't seen Charlie Curnow on a football field in 2 years. And the expectation for me was absolutely, it had nothing to do with stats. I didn't expect him to kick goals. It was just more get through the game, build some confidence, and let's see if he can actually, get through another game and be a player. Now, is he going to be the 60 goal a year forward that I thought he would be? Time will tell. I'm not expecting it from him. We just need a second competent forward, and I think he can become a second competent forward, if not more. But you can tell he's got it, right? He's got it. That goal off one step, no one can do that. I mean, there's a couple. I think Dusty can do that sort of thing. I think Danger can do that sort of thing. But that's just pure talent. And, I thought the first time he actually leaped like Charlie Curnow was in the second quarter with 15 to go, and heart in the absolute mouth. I was shitting myself, but he landed, he got through, and we just need to see it. He set up Fisher in space for that goal that Fisher gave to, I think it was, who was it? He set up Sam Walsh for Sam Walsh's third goal. And, he looked okay. I gave him a pass mark. I almost didn't even want to grade him. I gave him a pass mark, gave him a 5. He got through. It's a relief. It's an energy booster for the group. There's no doubt about that. He laid a couple of tackles. He got through the game pretty well. He will build from that. It's something to build off. And listen, give some credit to Andrew Russell. Can you imagine the work that's gone into Charlie to put a program together to get him back to playing football? So we'll give some credit, but, the job's not done. But we've got to get through now. Does he play next week? I don't know. I'm just going to shut up and let it happen because he's a very important part of this group because of the energy he brings. You can't underestimate the energy boost that he gives the group. You just can't. So that's what I thought about Charlie. Zach Fisher, I liked his game. Let me explain. So smothered shot on goal in the first quarter with 8 minutes to go. He ran back defensively and put the smother on. It was a very good start. I noticed with his tackling, there were just some broken tackles, and I was writing down here, needs to be a bit more physical. There was a tackle in the second quarter on Brad Crouch, 15-30. He wrapped him around, but he's just not strong enough to really wrap the opponent around, and Crouch gets out. And I started getting a little frustrated with him because I'm like, he's got to be able to stick the tackles. And maybe it's just part of the development. He's got to get stronger. Is it a mentality thing? And so I was thinking, he's not attacking hard enough. But then he just kept going. He laid 5 tackles on the day. He set up Walsh's second goal. He looked a lot better in space. Personal take, Zach Fisher's a midfielder. You can play him in spurts in the forward line, and yes, he's creative, but with Honey and Jack Martin and these guys and Eddie Betts, when he's there, there's enough creativity there. Zach Fisher, you got to get him into open space. Because I think when he's in open space and he's got time to make a decision, he's already got more quicker of a reaction time than the normal player. But when he's in space and he has more time to make decisions, I just think it's just better for us. Is it a fitness thing? Does he need to get a better tank? Is he hindered by the injuries? I don't know. But when he plays up the ground, he looks so much better for me. I loved his game in the end. The physicality thing ended up being quelled because he did tackle. He kept going, and all right, he might not be the physical player that I'm picturing him to be, but I know he's got it in him. I know he can play with the intensity because he didn't bring it last week, and I was really annoyed at it. And so again, because I called it out, I want to bring it to the attention this week that he actually did it. And I thought he was sensational. 18 touches, 5 tackles. Did his thing. I gave him an 8 for his game. Jack Silvani, Harry Mackay, and Jack Martin. Oh my God, Jack Silvani. It was stiff. I gave Walsh the player of the game, but it could have gone either way. Kicked his goal in the first 9 minutes to go. He had 17 touches in the first half. Obviously, Tom de Koning goes down. Jack's got to play in the ruck. And it was a real Silvani story. Now, from what I understand about Sergio Silvani, when he was playing, he was someone that just did whatever the team needed. If he had to play, ruck rover, he was there, defense, forward, whatever. And in this case, Jack has harnessed the energy. He's playing in the ruck. Is that a solution long term? I don't know. I wouldn't think so. But at the end of the day, I think we found a midfielder. I really do. People have flagged Jack's ability to tag. Maybe that's something we look forward to. I don't know. I gave him a 10 for his game. Absolutely sensational. And go back and look at his last 5 weeks. He has been sensational. He is making a very late push for the best and fairest. So just keep track of that. I mean, he's missed a lot of footy, so it's going to be hard for him to really get up there. But ever since he came back into the side from his recent injury, he's been remarkable. So proud of Jack. Harry Mackay, he looked great. He looked good, kicked his goals. It's funny, the 2 shots that he missed were both drop punts. So, anyway, strong mark on the lead from Lockie O'Brien for his I think it was his second goal. He kicked 4 in the first half. He was great, did his thing. 5th goal was from a Paddy Dow inside 50 in the third. 5 goals. What more do you want from your forward? I gave Harry a 10. Fuck it. I gave him a 10. Jack Martin, I thought he showed the right intensity early in the game. And he was rewarded with his goal in the second quarter with 8 to go. He presented well. He assisted Walsh's goal in the third with 12:25 to go. But the thing I look at with Jack Martin is the intensity in which he plays with. And I thought he played with the intensity. It's now the second week in a row that he's done it. He was looking to bump players if he wasn't getting there. He was throwing his weight around. And that is what we got him in the club for. That is Jack Martin at his best. I would love for him to win more of the ball. It is what it is. I still thought he did enough. I gave him an 8 for his game. DeConing, Kennedy Dow. DeConing, shattered, battled well early. I can't give him a rating. He was injured and didn't play. So I don't know what the prognosis is at the time of filming this, but fingers crossed. Kennedy, loved it. The intent at the contest was fucking great. He was gut running for that goal in the second quarter with 11:22 to go. The one where Honey handballed over the top. And I just thought he's a midfielder. The guy's a midfielder. Let's stop pretending like he's not. Yes, forward time is there. He can go forward and take a mark, but he's a midfielder for me, and that's where he plays his best footy. I gave him a 9 for his game. Yeah, 23 touches, 10 tackles, led the team, kicked a goal as well. Really loved his game. Paddy Dow, it's happened. And what I mean by that is the game has slowed down a little bit for him. He's not panicking. He's got a little bit more time and he knows what he wants to do with the ball when he gets the ball. And that is evident with some of the inside 50s. The kick to Harry, 18 minutes to go on the first goal. The inside 50 to Jack Silvani, 17 minutes to go. And I wrote down here, he's getting it. The inside 50 to Harry's goal in the third quarter with 17-10. Kicked a goal from Sam Walsh in the second quarter, 16:30 to go. The kicking, the lowering the eyes, the bullets, the kicking on the lead, it's unreal. He is finally starting to build a little something. Don't want to get too carried away, but I think it's happened. And what's crucial is he's starting to show some form along with Jack Silvani and Kennedy to finish this season. And those are the signs that I look for breakout years. So how you finish a year, you have that pre-season and then you're ready to go. So let's just keep an eye out on those three in particular, because I think we're going to see some serious breakout years next year and we're going to win the flag. I don't give a fuck. I gave Paddy Dow a 9 for his game. Lockie O, Stocker, Honey, and Owies. Lockie O, welcome back, son. Where was that? You just wonder, where's he been? I get it. We've been playing Cottrell. Lockie O has not been playing with the intensity required at the VFL level. That's it. That's just a fact. Now, is he a VFL somewhere where you don't want to be? The energy's hard to be there. I don't know, but there are no excuses. I don't know. The reality is Lockie was great. One of the best games I think I've seen him play. Good kick inboard to Dow, which set up the Honey goal in the first quarter. And I wrote down here in capitals, yes, Lockie. It was the long kick to set up Harry Mackay's goal in the first quarter with 3:30 to go. Another inside 50 to Harry on the lead in the second quarter, 8:30 to go. Another one to Harry inside 50 in the second quarter with 7 minutes to go. They were all goals that he set up, and I'm like, wow, there he is. Now, he tackled. There were a few contests where he just sort of got bulldozed a little bit. Like, I understand he's an outside player, he's a winger and whatnot. Just needs to be a little bit more stronger, but when he's working hard and he's getting the ball on the outside like that and he's using the ball like that, he has got a spot in this side. And is it on Lockie O'Brien? Is it on the coaches? I don't know. I really don't know. Is he going to be at the club next year? I don't know. But seeing him play like that, that's what we're crying out for, honestly. And Cottrell, love the work rate, but Lockie O'Brien is the talent. Now, does the work rate always match the talent with Lockie O? No, it doesn't. So we've got to find a way to get that work rate to match the talent. And once we do, he can stay in the side for me, honestly. I think if it was out of the two of them, if the two of them are getting 20 touches, I think Lockie O is probably using it a bit better and whatnot. That's just my take personally. But he needs to be able to work hard. And this is just one game. I want to give him a 9 for his game, but it's one game. We've got 3 more. He's got to make sure it's a good month of football, and then let's just see what happens. Stocker, he was inserting himself into the contest without getting the ball, if that makes sense. I didn't notice him much. He didn't have much of the ball. He's not there to win the ball. When he does, it's a bonus. I looked at his game, not so different to Sard, but the difference was that he's tackled a couple of times. He made sure to get that on the stat sheet. Gave away a couple of free kicks. I don't know. I put it down as a bare pass mark, but I'll let you decide. Josh Honey, where you been, Josh? Where have you been, young man? I really think he should have been playing when we played West Coast. That was the time to play him. But anyway, the goal assist to Walsh in the first quarter, 14:10 to go. The goal assist to Jack Silvani in the first quarter with 9 minutes to go. And he looked a lot more comfortable, I noted, in the AFL this year than what I saw him last year. And then I said to myself, imagine him with 4 weeks of AFL football under his belt. It'll pick up for him. Smart handball to Kennedy for Kennedy's goal in the second quarter. He kicked his own goal in the third with 15:25 to go. Look, context relative to where he's at, 13 touches, 2 goals, 3 or so goal assists. I gave him a 9 for his game. Maybe it should have been a 10. I don't know. I'll let you decide. But he's great. He's good. We need to keep building with him. And I think we've got one there. He's a good one to build for next year. And it's exciting. It's exciting. I didn't notice him a lot. The pressure was there. No doubt about that. It always is. He laid 4 tackles. He had 6 touches. Didn't get a shot on goal. So I gave him a 4 for his game. I don't know. It's sort of a 4 or 5 for me. It was what it was. Murphy. I've been watching Mark Murphy my whole life. He, for the kids that come through, when you're teenagers, you latch onto a player. For a lot of the kids, it's Walsh now. It's also been Cripps. For me, it was Mark Murphy. When I was 14 or 15, or 16, he was drafted, and he was my guy. And I've watched him so closely. Your favorite players. You watch them so closely that you know when they're going to do something good or bad, or when they're a little off. His body language in the first quarter, or the second quarter, I should say, when De Koning was off injured and he wasn't warming up. But I would expect the veteran on the bench, body language, you got to keep the energy up. But you can't show your frustration. And I thought he showed his frustration. It's a frustrating situation. Once he came on, I don't know, man. It just goes to show, this is why Simo had to retire last year for me, because I think Mick Malthouse speaks about it. A lot of the athletes speak about it. You'd rather leave with a little bit left in the tank, a little early with a little bit left in the tank, than a little late with, I just think what Murphy, how he looks on the field is not a good representation of what he's done for the football club, in my opinion. I love him with all my heart. He's not defined by his 2021 season for me. He's been the best draft pick that we've had in 20 years across his career. And it was just sad to see the game move like that when he was on the field. Yes, kick the goal at the siren, but let's not get it twisted. Now, is he going to play 300? Yes, he's going to play 300. It's clear. I just hope that, I don't know, it's such a weird one. I'm sorry to end on a dampener, but that didn't look good to me. And I always want to call it as I see it. I'm sure he's a proud person as well. I'm sure he's got, pride in his performance as well. It's frustrating, his body's not doing what the mind wants it to do, and it is what it is. So, can't grade him. I don't know. I don't really know how to look at it. 4 touches and a goal. It's not even about the stats. It just didn't look. He just, and he's the sub, and that's the reason why he's the sub. So we can't get too angry. He's not the starting 22. If he was in the starting 22 and he was looking like that, I think it would be a big issue. But the fact that he's not right, he's not 100%, and he's still playing, it sort of just, it goes against the integrity of winning for me. But I understand it's so much at play. It's 300 games. It's a career, and at a club where we haven't got a lot to celebrate, we can only really celebrate our people. If fucking Bryce Gibbs can get carried off and he doesn't even play for us anymore, then Mark Murphy can absolutely, get carried off and carry to 300. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. Those are the player ratings. Sorry to end on a dampener, but I love my boy, and it was a good win. Let's not let that outshine the win. Good performance. We need to back it up next week and the week after that, and the week after that, and we'll go from there. Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. Please Anything you have to say, put them there, and we'll go from there. Go the Mighty Blues.